لو كان سلعة تباع لبذلت فيه الأموال العظام أو صعد في السماء لسمت إليه نفوس الكرام.
Moving forward, I had a question for you guys. More so, look at you guys getting off, drinking my water, get ready.
Hopefully we don't pass out.
I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something I've seen. It's been going around as of lately, and it was a post. And here it is here. I'm not going to say who said it or anything like that, because it's been something said by more than one person. So it says, it was a tweet saying, telling the youth that working a job is for slaves is toxic and contradicts the teachings of Islam. Some prophets worked for themselves and some worked on occasions for others, which is also honorable. Strive to be successful, but the most important thing is to earn a lawful living. And then they mentioned the hadith of Musa alayhi salam, or the ayah of Musa alayhi salam working under Shu'aib. Before we even jump into it, and I get you guys' opinion and thoughts on it, I'm not bringing this up to speak about anybody in particular. I'm talking about the mas'ala specifically. The mas'ala specifically in the wording of it. Okay? So I have my thoughts on it, but maybe you guys, let me hear what you guys got to say first.
The issue is, first time I'm seeing this. I don't even know what the background.
Me too.
That's why I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to show you guys throughout the week. I wanted to get you guys reaction right now.
Yeah.
So let me read it again. I'll read it slowly and go through it word for word. Telling the youth that working a job is for slaves is toxic and contradicts the teachings of Islam. Some prophets worked for themselves and some worked on occasions for others, which is also honorable. Strive to be successful, but the most important thing is to earn a lawful living.
Okay, well, if I mean, working for someone, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what they're saying. They're saying there's nothing wrong with working under someone.
نعم يعني موسى عليه السلام like in Surah Al-Qasas, the Shu'aib said to him that I'll marry my daughter after you على أن تأجرني 8 حجج, that you work for me so many 8 years or the like. So Musa عليه السلام, he did that and he worked for him and he got married and everything. Can't see a problem with that whatsoever. Working for yourself, you can do that, that's good as well. But if someone actually said or is saying to the youth that working a job is for slaves, then this is extremely misguided. This is crazy. What's the proof for that? Where did he get that from? That's extreme. That's extreme. That is. I mean, okay. So is it? Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that every person on earth works for themselves?
Yeah, it's not
of course not.
That's something normal, and that's how life is, and it's not something degrading. There's nothing wrong about it.
Sahih.
And I do definitely agree with the ending bit. I don't even know who wrote this.
Strive to be successful.
You didn't even tell us who wrote this, but
I don't think it's important.
Yeah, it's not
important. No.
The statement that says strive to be successful, but the most important thing is to earn a lawful living. Absolutely, I agree with that.
For me, I agree. I agree with everything Muhammad just mentioned. The only
I
thing,
likewise agree. I likewise agree.
No.
I agree. If this person just worded it wrong, and what they mean is that it, like, try to strive, or like whoever they're responding to, I guess, to that it's better that you like try to strive, or like if it's an encouragement to try to work for yourself and not always be under. It's like I believe that. I believe that if you can do it, if you can start a business, if you can, that is actually the best case scenario.
This is kind of like what you're saying is kind of like how I first understood it, which is I want to get more clarity on. So telling the youth that working a job is for slaves is toxic. This sentence right here, I was wondering who exactly was saying that working under someone makes you a slave.
Exactly.
And do they mean exactly that you're abid, yani you're a slave?
Yeah, I don't think
because when growing up in the West, especially in America, I'm not sure how it's in the UK. I think Toronto probably was the same.
Yeah, we
used to grow up and we'd be like, man, I'm slaving it today.
Yeah.
You know, they get like meaning like you're working under someone and you're working long hours. Like you have a boss to tend to.
Exactly.
You can't go and pray Jummah on your own. Your business. You have to ask for off.
Exactly.
Eid, you have to ask for off. You have somebody, a superior, you have to look for it, which is obviously mostly kufar in this situation. It's not Muslims. You know, like the situation with Musa and Shu'aib, where you're working under a Muslim, a righteous individual, a prophet. So that's different.
It's different.
Now, if somebody's saying it needs to be the terminology needs to be explained.
Yeah.
If somebody is saying you're actually a slave, then I don't think nobody's saying that. You're not on a
Yeah.
plantation. You're not.
Exactly.
You're not chained up. You're not
Exactly.
working for someone. Okay.
Exactly.
However, you are limited.
You're limited,
restricted.
restricted.
In
Yes.
my experience back in the States, like I had to. I mean, my job in the hospital was the most open. I could kind of like play around best because I work for an agency. Anything else though, Juma, you gotta make sure you ask.
Yeah.
Which some people still struggle
not,
with getting
yeah.
off for
Yeah.
Juma.
Yeah.
Prayers, difficult. We even talked
Yeah.
about it before when praying time at
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
and stuff. You gotta
Yeah, it's hard.
gotta
yeah.
maneuver.
Exactly.
Aid,
Yeah.
different things for family might come up,
Family,
whatever case may
yeah.
be. I'm not going to say you're a slave, obviously,
Yeah.
but it
You are
resembles you being
That's
under somebody who's a superior.
Yeah.
And if a person is saying it from that angle, meaning, yani, you're very restricted, get your own, try to be an entrepreneur, try to get some more
But
stuff.
even, sorry,
This is Jay.
but even
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Mm.
Even
What's
I mean,
wrong? What's wrong? Exactly.
what's wrong with that statement? I don't know the exact wording of the statement that's being quoted here,
Mhm,
yes.
mhm.
But working a job is for slaves, even if that person means you're restricted. In a sense, the problem with this statement, it is too general.
That's
That's
what
number
I
one.
was trying to say. That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to say.
And
It's
also-
a very general statement. What is understood by this? What he's
Yeah.
trying to say.
It being general is the problem itself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the
Yeah.
issue is, it gives you the impression. This is the impression I've got the moment I read this. Is that working for someone, you're degrading yourself. I'm not. I could be working a job where
Yeah,
I got
that's
a lot
wrong.
of money.
Yeah.
I could be working a job where I'm very flexible.
Doctors have
yeah.
people they have to go back to.
Doctors,
Exactly.
they work for
Lawyers have
someone.
people they
Yeah.
have to go back to.
So
This-
that's the impression I get from the statement is working for someone, you're degrading yourself.
but this is the
You're
problem.
better than
But this is my thought. This is why I think that's not intended.
Me too.
When somebody
Because
says,
who can
I don't
say
know,
that?
but
because
that's-
nobody says that.
Yeah.
Everybody works for somebody to a certain degree,
Yeah.
for the most part.
For the most part. Yeah.
I mean, so when you say, so is it intended the way I understood growing up, like culturally, meaning like you're slaving, you're working
Yeah,
hard,
we use
you
that,
have
yeah,
somebody
we
like
use
a
that.
boss you got to go back to, you
I
got
don't
to.
know. Allah,
Or long
that's-
hours.
That's not the
rough
impression
job.
from reading that. That's
Yeah.
not the impression that I would get.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you guys don't use that terminology.
Yeah,
in the UK.
we have the
Yeah.
same
That's what I'm saying.
terminology. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's exactly why I wanted to wait
It
until the
actually might
podcast to bring it up
depend.
to you, because I wanted to see
Yeah.
what you might have thought about it.
Yeah.
Because
No, for me, that's the impression I get from this statement is, if you work for someone, you're degrading yourself. You're better than this. Why would you do this to yourself? When I see it as looking at the situation was bad for sometimes, akhi, sorry, but sometimes working for someone is much more liberating than working for yourself. Me personally, I'll tell you how. For me, I absolutely hate working for people. Right? And I've been like that
I think that's
from
most
a very
people.
young age.
I mean,
Most
even the
people.
prophets, most of them had their own jobs. They were
Yeah.
either looking after the sheep, they were doing tijara,
Yeah.
even the companions.
Yeah.
When the companion would come to Medina and he was getting offered, I think it was Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, he was getting offered, you can work in the fields with me, get these things, and also I have one of my wives that you can have.
Yeah.
He said, Dullani ala suq.
Yeah,
Show me where the
Abdul-Hameed
suq is.
Abdul-Hameed, yeah,
Khalas,
absolutely.
I'm going to go get my own money. I'm going to go be get my own tijara.
Absolutely, people are different.